What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Nerd Media. And 2025 is going to be a really, really big year for movies. And there's a lot of big contenders on who could make $1 billion this year. So in this video, I'm going to be going from the top 10 most likely films to reach $1 billion this year, going from number 10 being the least likely all the way up to number 1 being a 100% guarantee. And there's a lot this year, and there are some pretty big contenders. So let's jump right into it. So I have two honorable mentions before we get into the main top 10. First one is going to be the Lilo and Stitch. I think that because this is such a beloved original movie that Disney made, and they're now making a live action movie that looks pretty promising, it does have the potential to make $1 billion, but I don't think it quite matches up with what the other films could possibly do. And I just feel like the Disney live action remakes haven't been all that consistent, and that probably has caught up with the audience, and they don't really have faith in this film just because of the live action remake. But Stitch looks great. I'm excited to go see it. And I mean, we can only hope that it can make $1 billion. Now, going with the second and final honorable mention of this video, I'm going to give it to the film Michael, which is the Michael Jackson biopic film. I think that because he has such a big fan base and he's just beloved by so many people, and he's one of the most influential people of the 20th century, that alone has a lot of different potential to make this a big film. And it could possibly be the biggest biopic that we've seen in film history, which I wouldn't be surprised by, but I don't think it quite matches the marks to make $1 billion. But I will be very happy and very surprised if it does, and I'm very hopeful, of course, that it will. But kicking things off with the top 10 list here, number 10 is going to go to the Minecraft movie. It's kind of self explanatory. I mean, I think that there's going to be so many people that go to see this film, especially the kids who play Minecraft now, or people who used to play Minecraft back in their old childhoods and everything. And there's going to be people going here just to make fun of this film because the trailers and stuff haven't been too promising, but I definitely think that this film is just like the Mario movie has high potential to make $1 billion because the Super Mario Brothers movie made $1 billion, and that was a good movie, but it wasn't like the Sonic movies in terms of video game movies. And I think that while I don't know if the Minecraft movie will be good, I think that there is huge potential for it to make $1 billion with all the kids going to see it, all the people going to see it, all the movie reviewers going to see it, and I can already see it getting bad reviews, but people are going to see it because of that. So I think regardless, this film definitely has a chance, but it's not guaranteed because of the quality of the film. And we don't know. We don't know what this film is even about yet. So we know it's about Minecraft, but what exactly is it going to be? So we don't know that. And honestly, I won't be surprised, but I won't be surprised if it goes either way, if it doesn't or if it does, because this movie for me, it's either going to be a huge flop or it's going to make $1 billion. I guess we'll have to wait and see in April. Coming in at number 9, it's going to go to the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake. I think that the first film is so beloved, and I think that overall, like, so many people love this film, and I think that because of the fact that it's a shot for shot remake is the only reason that it would kind of be played down and very low for $1 billion. But the trailer is really promising. It looks like a really beautifully shot and just done movie. I think it'll probably hit somewhere in that like 600 to 750 million dollar mark, maybe a little bit less, like half a million. I don't know, not half a million, half a billion. I'm very sorry about that. This film is not going to do that bad, but I think maybe it can make like 500 million. Maybe if it does well, 650. For me, number 8 is going to have to go with Thunderbolts. I think that this movie, for me, is my second most anticipated of the year. I'm very, very pumped for this film, but the Thunderbolts is not a very recognizable name from the general public, and I think the only thing that this film really has going for it is the great promotion that they've done so far and the fact that it's a Marvel movie, and with that guarantee that it's an MCU film, it's definitely going to make somewhere in that 500, 550 to probably 700 range. But hey, if I have to, I will go to the theater a billion times to give it that $1 billion. I'm just saying. Coming in at number 7 is going to be Fantastic Four. I know I've already put 2 out of the 3 Marvel movies to release this year, like at the very bottom, but I don't know. I don't think that Marvel really has the potential to make $1 billion this year. I think that the Fantastic Four won't really do well just because the past Fantastic Four films haven't really done well. Fantastic Four isn't publicly known like the Avengers are. They're known very well, but just not that much as like they are for the Avengers. And thing that I think that this film really has in it to make $1 billion if Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom made a cameo. So many people are going to go see it. But I think that this film will be very good. I don't know if the hype for majority of the public will hit them unless they hear that. Number 6 is going to go to Superman 2025. I put this film pretty high in comparison to other people's lists, I think, but I think that with it being the start of a new universe, we have James Gunn attached to it, which already has it's a very good name attached to it, because I don't think there's been a single film that I've seen that he has made that's been bad, and I feel like a lot of people could say the same thing. And his name is also a known name, for the Guardians films and for all that stuff, and people will hear that and be like, oh yeah, I really like the Guardians of the Galaxy, and then they're gonna go see this film to give it a shot. But I feel like the only reason why it's at number 6 is because DC does not have a very good track record with movies in the previous years. They haven't really had any great films to come out of any of their recent years where they've released movies. With it being Superman, being the first Superman movie that we've seen in years, and everybody giving this new Superman a chance, hopefully, I think that it has high possibilities. Getting into the top 5 here, I'm going to give number 5 to Zootopia 2. I think that now that Disney and Pixar, they've kind of proved themselves with how good and how much money that a sequel film that has been beloved can make, with Inside Out 2 making $1 billion, and Moana 2, kind of secretly, nobody's really talking about it, but it's made, I think, about $900 million. It's probably going to cross that billion mark eventually. And they've proved that they can earn money with these sequels, and I think Zootopia is going to be no different. Number 4 is going to go to Captain America Brave New World. Now, you may be saying, why is it this high? Well, I think that the Captain America name already guarantees to make a lot of money. It was also voted like one of the most highest anticipated movies of this year a few weeks ago from like IMDb or something. So it's clearly on a lot of people's radar, and I think that will definitely help. And I think Harrison Ford turning into a Red Hulk will only push that further for audiences, because people are going to want to see Harrison Ford in the MCU, but once they hear that he turns into a Hulk, they're probably going to be sold and want to go see it. Now, the only things that I feel like are kind of downplaying on this film is that it's not Steve Rogers, and a lot of people out there, as much as it upsets me to say, don't think that Sam Wilson is their Captain America, and they don't think that they don't classify him as Captain America because he's not Steve Rogers. Not a lot of people honestly know that Sam Wilson's Captain America, I can bet you, because he turned into Captain America on a TV show. Something kind of not really going for it, but I think that the fact that it's Captain America, the fact that you have Harrison Ford here as a Hulk, I think that the fact that this film is probably going to establish what's going to be going on with the Avengers. We got a returning villain from all the way back in the Incredible Hulk. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going for this film, but then also like the rumors about not having good test screenings and stuff, I'm not paying attention to that anymore. I'm excited for this film. I think that it has a high possibility, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, getting into our top 3 here, these are basically going to be 3 guarantees for me. I mean, number 3 is going to go to Mission Impossible. I mean, come on. This film I believe it's the final one. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I haven't watched them, but I do plan on watching them before this film. So don't get mad at me in the comments, please. I know. I'm going to watch them. Don't worry. But I do think, and I have heard that, this film definitely has that really high chance of making $1 billion. A lot of people are going to want to see this franchise go out with a bang, and it's a lot of people's most anticipated movie of this year. Okay, the top 2 here on this list are just 100% guarantees, and there's just no doubt in my mind that these won't make $1 billion. Number 2, Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm very, very excited to see this movie. It's, I believe, the first rated R Jurassic World or park film that we've seen, and I mean, rated R mixed with dinosaurs. I've been saying this in like all my videos where I mention this movie. It just goes together so well, and they have so much potential with that, and I don't see how they can mess it up. I mean, but this is a franchise where regardless of if the film is good or bad, it's probably going to make $1 billion, because the last one made $1 billion and a lot of people didn't like that movie. July 2025 is going to be a very, very, like, there's going to be a lot of competition. No doubt in my mind that this won't make $1 billion. It doesn't really matter if it's bad film. People are going to go see it. That's already been proven with this franchise. If it's a bad film, it's still going to make $1 billion. But I think that it 100% will. And I'm excited to see July 2025 pan out now. Number one should come as no surprise to anybody. I'm giving it to Avatar Fire and Ash. I just recently watched the first two films. I was blown away. They were stunning. I love them, and they do feel like event films when these films come around every few years. And I'm no different when I say that I'm excited for this film. That I will be seated in theaters for it, regardless of the runtime, regardless of what people say. I'm gonna be seated for it, and I'm very excited. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind, or probably anybody else's mind, that this film doesn't make $1 billion or $2 billion. But that's gonna have to do it for my top 10 movies that I think could possibly make $1 billion this year, from least likely to most likely. But I want to hear from you guys. Do you guys have a different list, different movies? What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you agree with any of the things that I said in this video. But with that, make sure to subscribe and like. I'm going to be posting a lot more long form content like this. I'm very excited for that, and let me know if the video is like done edited well or anything in the comments as well, because this is going to be my first time spending probably well over an hour and a half, 2 hours editing the video. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more videos like this, but I want to hear you guys' feedback. Give me your top 10 list for movies that can make $1 billion, and give me feedback on this video, and make sure to hit that subscribe and notification bell. But with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.